Hello and welcome back to the Fortnightly Q&A. My name's Lumin and right now it's finally time to answer some more questions. These ones are from a little while back, August the 20th, actually. I didn't want to wait this long between Q&As, but I didn't really have a choice, and the Q&A was one of the slightly lower priority uploads for me, so hey, it was the first to be axed. These questions, however, do look good, regardless of their age, and I guess the next batch will be up to date, because I will get the next Q&A up in around 2 weeks. So, let's get started. Firestorm123. Lumin, when are you moving overseas, and when you do, where are you going? The US or the UK? I purposefully sipped real loud there for you guys, for your enjoyment. And mine too. I like sipping noisily. I know you didn't ask that, but I just gave you a free answer. So, I think we are probably going to be moving somewhere to Europe, and I'm not sure exactly when. I don't know. We are currently busy working on my passport. I had to go last week to get an unabridged birth certificate for myself, at least order it. Now I have to wait for them to get it for me. Then I have to drive back to where I ordered it to pick it up. And then the process of getting the German passport will continue again. It's unfortunate that we're waiting for a few things, but once that's done, I think we'll have a slightly clearer picture of when we're going to move forward with things. Because passports, especially when they, for a South African citizen, they generally tend to take a little bit of time. Hoping it doesn't take a lot of time, though. Ideally, I'd want my passport done and ready before the end of the year. That would be cool, but we'll see. So definitely, not definitely, I can't say definitely to the UK, to Europe. I don't think we're going to go to the UK specifically, but I think we'd prefer to go somewhere in Europe. So we'll see. Stephen Brandt. Cool video. Watch the whole thing. May I ask how your subscriber count progressed the first year to compare? I just started about 10 months ago and I got a few videos up that are actually doing great. In brackets, in my opinion. But I'm very curious about subscriber and view progression. Does it raise faster at a certain time if you keep the quality up? And if so, how much? So I think that is very different from person to person. I mean, I've seen YouTubers get 1 million subscribers in a matter of 6 months. I've seen YouTubers get 400,000 in 3 months. It's hugely dependent on your circumstances, on who your friends are, I guess, and on how lucky you get. Because some people just get super lucky and they get catapulted to fame and fortune. And others, well, they work a long time, really hard, and it just takes a long time of them working really hard for them to get anywhere. I got 1,000 subscribers in 1 year. That was it. After 1 year of being on YouTube, I had 1,000 exactly. It lined up very nicely. And then 2 years in... Wow. Struggling to think. Maybe like 4, 5, something around there. And then 3 years in, it was around 12, 13. And then the bigger jump came. But there's no way to predict what's going to happen with your subscribers. I honestly just think that if you want to make it, you need to be passionate about it, you need to put in the hours, and you need to just be consistent. That's it. You also need to have some good ideas. You need to actually be putting something out there that people want to see. That's probably the last part is probably the most important. I can give you an example of someone who kind of came out of nowhere and is now doing really well. Much, infinitely better than I'm doing. And that's all because of a very simple yet effective, good idea. And that's someone called haftroldan. So most of you have probably seen Hearthstone Funny and Lucky Moments, or Funny and Lucky Moments in Hearthstone, or Hearthstone Funny and Lucky Moments. I think I said that already. That series of his. So he's released less than 50 episodes of them at the moment, and he's around 200,000 subscribers now, I think. He started just a couple of months ago. Okay, and his videos get 4, 5, 600,000 views sometimes. Most of them, I think, average around 150 to 250,000. But he's doing incredibly well for himself, and that's the only thing he does. Because that was such a good idea. Because he found a little niche in the YouTube market that hadn't been covered yet. For a crowd of people that really like that kind of thing, he's now doing well. Clever dude. I wish him all the best for the future, and I just say kudos, because that's an amazingly good find, and he's set. He can probably use that now to transition into doing other things as well, use his popularity from that one series. So I think I'm done. I don't know why I spoke so long about that one thing. It's an interesting topic. I like talking about it. Next, Gabriel Victor. Do you get more money for a long video or a series of shorter ones? So that's again quite difficult to answer. I think it's a very exact science, but it's not something I think about a whole lot. But once again, all just depends on the views. If it's just a normal gameplay series and the videos get sort of the same amount of views, then I think that releasing 15 to 20 minute videos makes the most sense. But if I release a 30-minute video and put an ad in the middle, then it's the same as two 15-minute videos. Or not exactly the same. Definitely not exactly the same. I think for the most part, releasing two would get you slightly more income than releasing just the one with a mid-roll ad. But it all depends on what the content is, because if people watch all of it, then it ends up being better for you. I don't know. It's really difficult to say, but again, it's not something that I think about all that much. I first and foremost think about actually making the videos a length where it's actually okay to watch. I'm not okay with people releasing a 15-minute video with 3 adverts in it. It's crazy. But anyway. Next, Elliot Noble. Will you do the Ice Bucket Challenge and post on your channel? No. I think that's already, like, long past and forgotten, and I'm glad about that. I was not going to do it anyway. I think it's silly. I mean, the cause that people were doing it for was good, but that was just the next in the series of... What is that video called? That one where people were bouncing around. I can't even... How could I have forgotten it? It was just a craze, a phase. It's done now. I'm hoping that, you know, because of this, a lot of money was raised for ALS or whatever, but yeah. The idea of posting videos to your channel, it was not for the most part done because it was for a good cause. It was for the most part done to get people to watch it for self-gain. Granger? Joe Granger. Hi Lumin, just a quick question. Have you ever considered taking another look at the Elder Scrolls Online? I know it has some bad rep, had some bad rep in beta and on release, but it does look like a lot of fun now. I hope you are well. From Joe. I have considered it, okay, but the chances are super slim. Obviously I'd consider it because I love Elder Scrolls, but that game, it's infuriating to me that they wasted the name away like that. I don't know what to say. I think the next time I play an Elder Scrolls game will probably be when the next single player version of the game comes out, like the next single player iteration of Elder Scrolls comes out. If there's even going to be such a thing. I hope there will be. Skyrim was amazing, but the chances are super slim. Maybe if they release some super huge content update or just feature pack or something for the game that just improves it a whole lot, I'll take another look, but the chances are slim. Boomschlang Skin 3739. Oh, hey Lumin, Deacon Drew here. So this is actually Deacon Drew, not that name that I just mentioned. Deacon Drew's a guildie from World of Warcraft. Just wondering if we're going to see the return of the Hearthstone hoodie. I think this is the reason for your lack of card pack luck. I wear the Hearthstone hoodie all the time. Right now, however, it is getting slightly warmer here. Summer is nearing, and the chances are I'm going to be wearing less of it and more of other things with slightly shorter sleeves. But who knows? Maybe next time I open Hearthstone card packs, I will equip the Hearthstone hoodie for that extra bit of luck. I actually opened a card pack today. One single card pack, and I got a legendary in it. And I was wearing this old red hoodie. So it seems like that one could potentially work as well. We'll see. Ropname. Hi Lumin. Can't wait for the 1 minute guides. I've already actually started those up because these questions are so old. I guess this might be outdated. We'll see. They were so well made and funny. But for the next Q&A, I don't remember if you ever answered a trip question. What trips do you like best? Mountain, hiking, seaside, road trips, etc. Which countries have you visited? What places are your favorite? Have my best wishes. The farm and forest trips do not count. Oh, the farm forest trips. Okay, so I guess, well, you know, I can't say the farm trips are my favorite. But what kind of trips I like? I don't know. I mean, we don't really often go on mountain or hiking trips. Although we've got all the opportunity in the world here. There's a really nice nature reserve just down the road. It's there. Seaside trips, well, I mean, I guess I could say they're my favorite. I go to this beach every week with Nero. I throw the ball for him, we run around a bit, we walk around in the forest. But I guess those don't count. I don't know. I mean, I love the idea of a road trip, but I don't really get to go on road trips very often. I like trips on the aeroplane overseas the most, just because it's something, once again, that I don't do very often, and it's exciting. I like the anticipation that constantly builds when you sit in there. You know you're going somewhere exciting. I like it. I really do like that. So if I had to say what my favorite kind of trip was, it would be one that is on an aeroplane going wherever. Which countries have I visited? So, I've been to the UK. I've been to France multiple times. I've been to the US. And that's it. I don't know. Wow, that's depressing. Have I really not been anywhere else? Oh my goodness, Lumin. No, I haven't been anywhere else. I think that's it. If I'm forgetting something, then it can't be that important. Oh, I've been to Ireland, but that's sort of the same thing. Okay. So that's where I've been. It's a little bit boring, I know. I would like to go other places too, but right now it's just not a feasible option. Favorites? All of them. I gotta say the US was actually, to me, really interesting. Just because I got to see Irvine, California, which was like the little, I don't know, perfection town. It was so orderly. That's the word. Orderly. Irvine, California was amazing. I could see myself living there. But, you know, maybe it's too perfect. Maybe they're all a bunch of aliens living there. Maybe Blizzard Entertainment and all the staff members are from outer space. And that's where they're starting their takeover of planet Earth in Irvine, California. Because there's no way there's not a single piece of litter on those streets. There's no way everyone walks so straight. Something's up. Telling you right now, something's up. Kleber. Hey Lumin, my questions are: what happened to your Adventure Worthy series? I really enjoyed watching those. Especially when you played old school games. Well, they're coming back. Adventure Worthy's episodes are, well, they're coming back this week. I'm going to try and do one every week. I don't know. I might miss a week here and there. I think that with BlizzCon and the Warlords of Draenor launch coming up, that might be an opportunity to skip one. I say opportunity as if it's a good thing, but it's not really. We'll see. I'm going to be doing them every week if I can, and it's going to be fun. In Hearthstone, which card/art are your favorites? So, she means obviously which card is my favorite and which art on a card is my favorite. No, that was the wrong one. And perhaps getting your favorite card art printed to add to your mighty wall of artwork could be something worth thinking about. Yes, I've thought about that many times, but if we are going to be going overseas, then I don't want to add too many extra frames to carry. So that's the reason I haven't been maximizing the wall back there. Which card is my favorite? It's tough. That's really tough. Somewhere here, I actually have a list of all the cards. Let me look at it. I think I've got a list of all the cards. It's like a big picture with there it is. But these are not the Nax Ramos ones included. This is amazing. This image is amazing. It's got it all organized by mana. It's hard to say. I mean, I should be able to call out my favorite card just like that immediately. But it's difficult. It's harder than you think. I guess it would be a card that I just use in every single deck. I don't know. Card art is easy. I mean, when I answer that, I will answer it with purpose in a mere moment. I'm just trying to think which card is my favorite. Maybe one of the new Nax Ramos ones? I don't have them here, so I can't really say. But I can tell you what the card art is. You know what my favorite card is actually Edwin Van Cleef. I don't know why. I don't even play Rogue that much. But I love Edwin Van Cleef. When I make a Rogue deck, I always just want to put Edwin in there. And sometimes that just isn't for the best. But I love Edwin Van Cleef. I like the art on Edwin Van Cleef as well. If I had to say overall best card, it would be Edwin Van Cleef. But if I had to answer them separately, I'd say Edwin Van Cleef as my favorite card. And Cabal Shadow Priest for art. I love the art of the card with the waves going out from away. It's good. It's good. That's my favorite card art. Also one of my favorite cards. Such a useful card, especially in the current meta. But Satch Slater. I have to say I've been thinking about you a lot with the Ebola thing going on in Africa. Are you nervous about that whole thing? Is it something you need to worry about? I think it's something that everyone in Africa and, well, throughout the rest of the world would probably need to worry about. The thing is, it's so hard to say. So hard. Like, currently, in the position that I'm in right now, no, I don't need to worry about it actively. But, you know, if I had to worry about the global state, sure, it's something that I should probably worry about. The other African countries have easier access to South Africa than they do to the rest of the world. South Africa may be a shining beacon of hope for them, so maybe it could potentially make its way down here. It's a big deal at the moment. I mean, I've just been hearing little bits of information and news here and there, but every time I hear, then the number of reported cases is more. So let's hope this doesn't turn into the last ship, because that would be bad. See, I'm kind of worried, but I'm not actively worried about it. I'm not, you know what I'm saying? I think everyone should be worried. Eon Prospero. I heard that surname recently. Hey Lumin, first of all, I'm loving all the videos, especially those heroic Hearthstone challenges. I must also say that I blame you for my current Hearthstone addiction because you got me into it. I'm also having trouble playing other games. I get that. Totally get that. Anyway, on to the question. Is there a game that you'd like to do a playthrough of? This is such a cool question, actually. Anyway, on to the question. Is there a game that you'd like to do a playthrough of but can't because you think the viewership isn't there? Or it would be too time consuming? Thanks for the answer and warm sands. It's a good question. So, yes, I think there are a couple of games that I would like to play but wouldn't get as many views. Mostly older games. I have been wanting to do something with Ultima 7 for the longest time, but that is, again, a problem that's, as you mentioned here, twofold. I don't think it would get the viewership. Maybe you know, a couple of episodes would get it high enough views, but it would probably dwindle because it's such a long game. You can finish the game in an hour, or probably less. You can probably finish the game in like 10 minutes if you do this silly speedrun exploit type thing. But if you play it legit, then it can take many hours, and I don't think a lot of people would want to watch that. So I guess that would be the first go-to answer for me. I guess. That's probably the only one I'm gonna put out there right now. Other older games, sure. There are a few others. I've actually got a list on my second monitor here of games that I was considering looking at for adventure worthy, because I'm starting it up again now. So I want to have a lot of options. I want to be able to do a new game and then maybe next week do an older game with a nostalgia worthy episode. I like the idea of that. Next, the Pagan Org. Oh no, it's just the Pagan. Org is August 19, 2014. Oof. Okay. You didn't hear that. Hey Sven, got a question. Do you ever think about growing out your beard? What would Helene have to say about that? Just wondering, because mine is very long. Like the main actor of Vikings. Ragnar Lothbrok. Ragnar Lothbrok. What a name. Ragnar Lothbrok. That last one is not how you should be saying it. Someone else said something to me recently. Maybe it's in the same one. No, I saw it on Reddit. It was actually on Reddit. Something about women like a man that can grow a beard because they patient enough to deal with all their troubles. You know what I'm saying? Because if you can grow a beard, well, you're a patient man. I get that. Totally get that. As for growing out my beard, I've never even thought of it, okay? Maybe when next winter starts, I'll consider doing that. I don't even know what I'd look like, okay? I just don't. I've had some facial tufting going on, but it never really looks like a beard. You know? I'm looking in the webcam. I have these parts of my face where the hair just doesn't want to grow. So I end up having a moustache and then burns and then a little bit at the bottom here. And while I do appreciate some sick burns, it's just, it never really, you know what I'm saying. So I'll definitely consider it. What would Helene have to say about it? She doesn't care. She wouldn't care. Maybe it ends up looking really good. Maybe I look really dapper with a beard. Then it would have all been worth it, right? Right. So, Celtic Uchu. Konnichiwa, Lumin. It seems like the questions for Q&A 12 are a bit sparse this time around. No, they're not. Which classes in Hearthstone do you think need more balancing and how? So, Warlock. Warlock needs some balancing. I was actually talking to Eileen about that earlier, but I don't even know where that begin. I feel like the hero ability of the Warlock is just too strong. But there's nothing Blizzard can do about it. Then again, Blizzard will say, well, something like that. And then what you'd actually hear when they make sounds like that is, we don't want to change anything because we could ruin the entire game if we do. We could make Warlocks irrelevant. But the thing is that any little change to the hero power would be too big a change. And I think that changing single cards that could be problematic as well would just cause Zulocks to go for different cards. And it is just Zulok that's the problem. So I think Warlock needs to be looked at, but I'm not sure how. And Blizzard would again come out and say, well, we see priests beating Warlocks. We see hunters beating Warlocks. We see all classes beating Warlocks, but that's not the point. Warlock, Zulok specifically, is in tournaments like the Road to BlizzCon events, both Europe and, well, less so Europe. The Europeans didn't like the Zulok. They were much more creative. In the US one, you see Zulok's 3-0 in multiple series. You see the Chinese event with a 4-0. Zulok just whitewashing the opponent. It's kind of crazy. So I'd say Warlock. What legendary card would you like to see in Hearthstone, and what powers would it have? I thought about this recently as well. With Warlords of Draenor coming out, I would honestly like to see some of the Draenei. I hope that the next big push from Blizzard is like a Hearthstone expansion that kind of ties into Warlords of Draenor with a lot of Draenei in. That would be so nice. I want to see that girl, the lady girl. The lady girl Draenei, the important one. That's all I can say. Abilities, who knows? Who knows? Because I know nothing about her. I just know that she's kind of attractive and she seems like an interesting type. But I want there to be a slightly more scholarly, legendary, not like Lorewalker Cho, but one with a bit more utility and less beef. That's all I'm going to say. Okay. Maybe one that synergizes differently with weapons. Maybe a legendary weapon that all the classes can use. That gives them... No, that's too much. It's too much. Question number 3. Would you ever take a jaunt into Star Trek Online? I actually considered that a long time ago, and then I just didn't find the time for it. I would rather take a jaunt into EVE Online, quite honestly. I know it's not the same thing, but if I'm going into space, I'm going into space with EVE. I like that game. I like EVE Online. I suck at it, but I like it. I'm going to say it again. EVE Online. It's going to take over the world one day. Or it's going to become the world one day. Just wait. Okay, all the other MMOs will die out one by one. And then EVE Online will be left on top of their corpses, trampling down upon them. It's the MMO to rule them all. What upcoming games are you looking forward to? Which amongst them is your favorite so far? Legend of Grimrock 2, favorite by far. Warlords of Draenor, also kind of keen. Dreamfall Chapters, Dragon Age Inquisition. If I had to rank those, I'd say Warlords and Grimrock top, Dreamfall Chapters under that, and Dragon Age Inquisition below that. Not by far though. I'm just very interested in Dreamfall Chapters. What childhood cartoon shows did you grow up with, and do you still have desires to re-watch them from time to time? Some of mine are Tailspin, Sonic the Hedgehog, Batman, the animated series, and Reboot. So Reboot, yes, I went on a bit of a Reboot binge a while back, and I watched a couple of them, and I downloaded the series. Tailspin I watched, didn't watch Sonic or Batman. I watched things like... We watched Moomin, DuckTales, Gummy Bears. What else? And all of those I still enjoy to this day. I mean, how can you not? DuckTales is amazing. Gummy Bears, great. Great. I'm trying to think of what else there was. Those are the main ones, the first ones that come to mind. I mean, we watched certain movies way too many times, like Lion King. But that was slightly later in our life anyway. Didn't watch things like Tom and Jerry or Looney Tunes or those kind of cartoons. We watched the... I don't want to say slightly more sophisticated. I guess they're slightly more sophisticated, okay? I guess I can say that because they were also my parents' favorites. My parents ended up watching them with us. So those are the ones that I'll introduce to my child one day, definitely, because they're good. What are some of your favorite movies? I don't know. Blade Runner. Probably my all-time favorite movie. It's just great. Blade Runner. I mean, we've got Blade Runner. Do I have Blade Runner here? I don't even know if I have it. But Fifth Element's on our shelf over there. Fifth Element's really good. The Indiana Jones series. Of course. I don't know. Those ones are always my favorite. I could watch Blade Runner any day of the week and just love it. Terra Mancha. Hello, Lumin and company. First, I would like to apologize for the multi-part question, but here it is. Now that you started playing WoW again, what's your favorite continent? And why? Outland counts. I like Outland. Now that you say it counts, I like Outland a lot. But I think that's mainly just nostalgia speaking, because when Burning Crusade came out, we were really into WoW. We played it a lot. Because of that, I enjoyed it a lot. I like Outland a lot. I don't know. Not a big fan of Northrend. I like Pandoria. You know what I like what they did with Pandoria? I like the raids there. Dungeons are okay. I really like the raids there, actually. The areas are super good looking. If I could say Draenor, I'd probably say Draenor because that looks the most interesting. But yes. Has your opinion changed as time went on? Well, I just answered that over there. It has. Burning Crusade, I mean, wow. Nostalgia always gets to me where that's concerned. Personally, I like the Middle Eastern influences in Pandoria. Yes, and come on. What hardcore adventurer can hate on talking pandas with beards? Well, well, a lot of people hate on the pandas, but, you know, Pandoria was great. They did good with Pandoria, no matter what people say. What content would you like to bring to life on Earth as it is? And which race would you bring to life along with it? Tough choice. I don't know. You know, I don't know if I want the orcs anywhere near me. Same goes for the Tauren. Although they look like peaceful types, I don't know. Undead, no. They got cannibalized as an ability. It's not going to happen. Okay? I'm not going to bring the undead here. Blood elves, maybe? They're pretty attractive. Goblins, no. Draenei, no. Worgen, not happening. Pandas. Oh. Definitely the pandas. And again, yes, probably Pandoria. I mean, Pandoria would be great to explore. Just think about it for a second. Lastly, what do you think about the fact that Blizzard are going to make some kind of memorial towards Robin Williams in WoW? Personally, I think it's fantastic that they care about their players. Yours sincerely, Terramanja. Yes. I mean, come on. Robin Williams. This is Doubtfire. That's one of those movies that we watched like 1,000 times. The dude was a comic genius, and it's obviously sad to hear about the fact that he was having problems in his personal life and, you know, all the rest, but hey. Things like that happen. He was great though. It's nice that Blizzard are doing this, and the tribute that they put into the game, the genie and that stuff, it was a really cool idea. So I'm keen to go pay him a visit in game. Loose Reprime, thanks for answering my question. Your answer was quite glorious as expected. Here's a new one. What is your most frustrating or enraging moment from a video game? Huh. Wanted to separate this into single and multiplayer and online games because people can frustrate you easily. Well, but I didn't. So he didn't separate it here. It's the same thing. I don't know. I mean, single most frustrating moment. Every single looking for raid I ever go into in World of Warcraft. No, I won't put that as an answer because that's too obvious. I'm trying to think. No, I just can't remember. Enrage. That moment when a rogue double shadow steps a Leroy Jenkins, then still double preparations, double preps, let's say double preps, eviscerate. I've had that happen to me, it's stupid. No, but seriously, I don't actually know. I'm once again, this is the kind of thing that I just can't answer all that well, because I have a terrible memory when it comes to stuff like this. You know, the funny thing is it ends up coming back to me when the same thing is either about to happen or just happened. So, if I'm like playing a game, and then I get to a point where, hey, this is something I remember, this is where I had a really bad experience, then it all just comes rushing back to me, and I'm super depressed. Or just angry, either. So I'm sorry, I don't know. I don't know how to answer that. P.S. I'm looking forward to your Divinity Original Sin playthrough with Helene if you decide to do it. I don't know if we're going to do that. I obviously still want to do something with Helene one day, but we'll see. I want to spend more time in Divinity Original Sin, but right now there are so many other things just coming up. I'm playing with a friend of mine right now. but we're going through it pretty slowly. It's a wonderful, traditional PC RPG, I know. It's a great game. Bumfrey, out of curiosity, what's the national feeling towards the Oscar Pistorius case at the moment? Do you think he's guilty or not guilty, and what's your opinion on it? So he was already found not guilty for the murder charges or something like that, but obviously he could still be guilty for manslaughter? Oh, no, wait. He was not guilty for premeditated murder. So, like, he didn't go in there with a plan to shoot Riva Steenkamp through the door. But he could still be charged with manslaughter. I don't know what the case was. I think that was what it was. The national feeling towards all of it is still 100% split. 100% split. In other words, you have people on both sides. A lot of people hate the guy's guts because a lot of people liked her a lot. And a lot of people hate the guy's guts because, well, it's a pretty douchey thing to do. Douchey's not the right word. I should think of something much more harsh to use there. But it's a terrible thing to do. It really is. Doesn't matter what your mental state is. Nothing really matters. What he did is inexcusable. And he should be found guilty. You can see which side of the fence I'm on. Then there are people who sympathize and say that the dude, you know, was having a tough time. I think I even heard that the family of the woman said that the dude was having a tough time. And he was not mentally stable and this and that and the other. So, whatever. People are on both sides. Tali Zora Naraya. Great name. Of course. Hi Lumin, I hope all is well. My question is, you said in a past video that you might pick up a PS4 sometime. If you do, would you consider a Last of Us Let's Play? It's a truly amazing game and I think you would enjoy it. The story, characters, gameplay are great. Keep up the good work. I would if I pick up a PS4 one day. But I don't know when that's going to happen. It was, as I said on special a little while back here, 5,800 Rand for specifically the Last of Us pack. One controller, PS4, 500 gig or whatever, plus the Last of Us remastered. Kind of cool, but I don't have the money to spend on that right now, unfortunately. Still though, I would consider it. It would again be a big investment to get some form of recording for the PS4 again, unless you can do it straight through the PS4 program. I don't know, but there you go. Calsmith, do you feel that you've gotten better? Oh, he actually asks, how do you feel you've gotten better as a gaming YouTuber from, let's say, where you started out with Alice the Madness Returns? So I'm more confident and I feel like I just don't sound quite as awkward anymore. I do think that some of my older Let's Plays were really good. Really, really good. But if I go back and listen to myself now, I do sound awkward. And I do sound nervous. And I do sound like I'm not quite myself when I'm talking there. I don't know. Some people say now I overdo things a little bit. But I don't always overdo things. Now. How do I feel I've gotten better? I've just become more confident. More comfortable. That's the main thing. Or at least those are the main things. And it shows, obviously. If I compare my videos now to videos even just a year ago. Huge improvements. I do feel like in the last year and a half to 2 years, I've made bigger improvements. Or at least to me, more important improvements. But I've definitely improved in that sense. I'm still not where I want to be. I could still be better at what I do. But there is time for that still. Last question is from Shulu. From Gemma. Either. Lumin, why do you make your friends shill for you? She actually asked this on Skype just before I started recording the Q&A and said I must put it in here. Well, I don't really ask them to shill for me because I don't really offer anything in return for the shilling. Right? Right? So it doesn't really make sense. You can't call it that. But I asked them to do it because you have to shamelessly Self-promote. Jesse Cox has taught us that. And he's gotten 4, hasn't he? He has. So I gotta do it. I will always ask my friends to upvote all my content on Reddit and like all my videos. It's just what I'll do. So if you want to be my friend, you gotta be willing to upvote my posts on Reddit. And not complain about it. Gemma. Done. Leave those questions below if you have them. Give it a like, share it, and do all that other good stuff. Most importantly though, happy long Q&A again, because it's been a while since we've had such a long one. Happy leaving those questions. Happy that.